People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, football doesn't, well, at least for Arsenal, these transfer things are not really changing, in it. We know we want to bring in Partey, potentially Arawa, you know, or at least we're told that. Let's just focus on the fact of we need centre midfielders. We've tried to bring in centre halves and we've actually been successful. Like, I'm happy with Gabriel and Saliba. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, really and truly, people. And again, I want to stress that I don't work for the club, you don't work for the club. If you do work for the club and you're listening to this, you need to come and bust DG, because yeah, man, I got something to offer. But on a serious note, you know, we're not in the boardroom. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what they're doing. Apologies. On one hand, you know, silence can be alarming. On the other hand, silence could mean we're working and things like that. You know, who knows what is going to happen? Because there has been a couple of times Arsenal have hoodwinked us, you know. I look at when Emre actually became manager, you know. There was talk of him becoming manager, but there was more focus towards other targets, and then it happened. You know, Pepe, it was all meant to be Zaha, and then it's there. I'm not saying the club are going to do the business. I'm just saying we got to approach this with a bit of balance. But for me, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I've said it before. I do think I don't think any fans are under the illusion of where Arsenal are at the moment and what we need to do to get top four. I definitely don't think Arteta is, and it remains to be seen people above him and around him and all of these things if they're on the same thing we're on. But by the same token, I feel with the FA Cup win, with the Community Shield win, you know, with hearing Aubameyang's going to sign new deals, there's not an air of complacency, but an air of complacency. And again, until things are confirmed in all aspects, it's scary, because we were under no illusion. The hardest thing probably was that we had to do, and it is affecting how we might be able to bring in players, is to get rid of players. We know we've got players that we probably don't want to sell, that have potential in that. We know we've got players that are average on high wages. There's numerous ones. We don't need to name them and make it that sort of video. But you get the point. Haven't really seen any progress with that. You know, Mertesacker and the academy staff, they're doing their job. They're finding loan spells. And again, if the club are working to find permanent homes for players, you know, for Guendouzi, if he wants to go, we've offered him a bar. Torreira, people don't seem right now to be on paying the asking price we are asking for. Fair play, you're actively trying to get it. It might not be producing, but we're trying, you know, and whatnot. But there's still one too many unanswered questions for me. And again, you know, just because the season starts don't mean it's all over. But I would have liked to have seen, and I've got small hope that before Saturday's game against Fulham, Aubameyang's contract can be answered, you know. Can we bring in a couple of players? Because, you know, we hear about Aubameyang's contract. It might be signed, but to us fans, we don't know that. You know, we hear Partey and Arawa. At some point, are you gonna pay the release clause or do what you need to do to get Partey over the line? Are you gonna potentially overpay? Are you gonna overpay on Arawa or put the money on the line? And then if we're not going to do that, fair play. I would love Arawa. I would love Partey. But this is football. You miss out on targets. Have we got other targets, which I obviously believe we do, but when do we find that when do we come to that bridge where clearly we can't do a deal with, let's say for Partey, can we bring in another box-to-box midfielder, the B target, the C target, the D targets? Clearly we wanted Upamecano, it didn't bang, so we went for Gabriel. I'm not criticising Gabriel, I'm ecstatic to have Gabriel. To see him in training and stuff, knowing that, you know, he's not, what I thought might happen is that he'd have to quarantine and he might not be able to play. I don't know if he's going to play against Fulham, but he's training with the boys. You're seeing all the pictures come out with Saliba and him and things. You're also seeing the young players getting to train this week. You know, you've seen Patino, you've seen a bag of them, Tyler Ferran of the under-18s now, bag of them getting to Salahuddin. It's lovely to see these youth players getting to mix it with the first team and train. But there's too many questions unanswered, man. Like Torreira, you know. 1 minute we hear Fiorentina and Torino don't want to pay the release clause, the fee we desire. Alright, cool. What are we going to do with that? Are we going to force him out, or is he part of this? Martinez, we know he's part of the team, but he's contracted until 2022. There's still this Leno thing. Are we going to see some clarity? Aubameyang, simple as, new deal. Are we going to see some clarity? The future of Mesut Ozil and Guendouzi. Now, we know we want to move Ozil on, potentially struggle. Okay, cool. So, you know, either let's make a decision. You know, it can't keep being this 1 minute we're going to try and alienate him. The next minute he's going to train. The next minute we're trying to offer him out and then doing this and that. Let's make a decision. If that's to palm him out, cool. If that's to just let him run out his deal and see if we can find any use, cool. Guendouzi, my personal opinion is Guendouzi stays. I think there's a player of tomorrow. But can we get that one gone? He's coming back to training. I'm sure you've all saw his Instagram post where more or less he said he's happy with his time with France's under-21s, but he's now back to work and back to Arsenal. Have Arteta and Guendouzi put things to bed? we're led to believe that based on Arteta's comments a few weeks ago about the slate's clean, you know. But, you know, these things that run the risk of happening again. Is Arteta really saying that? Because we were very public in that Guendouzi's gone. He's gone and we want him out. Has that cost us? Because, you know, he's been linked with Villarreal, Juventus, PSG, bare clubs, whether he's good enough to go there, whether they want him or not. Why hasn't this alleged interest or inquiries led to any official offers? What are we doing right or wrong? Has making it so public that we want to get rid of Donny come back to harm us? And there's a lot of unanswered questions. Again, I reserve all judgment until the window is closed, because what I want to see first and foremost is what Arteta has shown me last year. I just want to see a system. I've seen that with Arteta. I want to see us keep improving defensively. To a degree, I've seen that under Arteta. And with the better players he's brought in now, slowly but surely, with Gabriel and Saliba eased in, other players phased out, long term, I'll be comfortable about our back four, with obviously Tierney being sick, with hopefully Bellerin resurgence, or what I want to see, Maitland-Niles moved over there to lock that stuff down. Do you get? I want to see a midfielder come in, because again, the majority of our problems can't just be solved with new players. New players will make the difference, and we do need them, but it's on the coaching field. And I have full faith in Arteta, but it's down to these players to be consistent with it. You know, they've got to show the same desire. We will lose games throughout the season, but it's about putting runs together. It's about, you know, not dropping as many points as we did last year. It's about winning games we probably shouldn't have won, we probably shouldn't win, and not losing when we should have lost, and gaining a draw when it wasn't supposed to happen. Do you get? Breaking down teams early, keeping clean sheets. You know, it's all fun and games seeing Leno and Martinez up there for shots faced and stuff like that. It makes them look heroic. But why are we're not top six, but why are we as a member of a top six side allowing that? Because there's no correlation between that and clean sheets, so we're doing something wrong. You know, we need to improve in terms of chance creation and conversion of chances just away from Aubameyang, because we don't have too many goal scorers. Defensively, there's a lot of problems. I do think we can, you know, new players makes this difference, but what I want to see is that there's a system, like Arteta showed me, is that there's a system, improvement within the system. Then I can say, all right, cool, better right back, better this, better that, does this. And I do think a lot of that is to a degree. So why I'm kind of calm is because the majority of the problems I have seen with this team have been mental, and I think Arteta's gone with that and tried to fix that. Tactically, he's shown, you know, that he can do his thing tactically, and he can get his players to understand. And that whole fight and grit and determination that he's been on from day one, he's been very vocal on that. The next one then becomes is a case of signings, people. And again, until the window shuts, I'm not going to say anything or urge caution, but you want to get things done early, man. It would be lovely. The quicker you get deals done, you know, the quicker they get integrated into Arteta's thinking and way of life and stuff like that. Of course, again, we don't know what deals are being done. They can drag out, they can be long. But when I look at Chelsea, you know, they got that Havertz one wrapped up. Again, it was a bit prolonged, but that one was wrapped up. Why is the Partey thing taking so long if we're really interested? Of course, the dynamics are different, the financial status of the clubs are different, and there's many different things. But we'll have to see, man. On that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to get out of here. You lot know it's always a pleasure. Deluded, I'm out.